Cem Bey, sizinle devam edelim. Siz hangi adımları attınız inovasyon için? Bunlar iyi çalıştı mı? Biraz bahsedebilirsiniz.
Yeah, I can talk about the cement business, of course,
Okay.
and how it started. Let's say they put me in charge. No. Yeah, that's the one of the very important steps. I just wanted to mention with a joke. You have to define roles, distribute authority, and adopt a okay to fail approach to innovation, because the last part, it is okay to fail. I mean, because the family businesses are of course successful, and they have all these big prides and charisma and quality standards. And if you try to do new stuff, then there will be failures, and it is okay, because the first iteration cannot be the perfect outcome. So you have to think about innovation as a process, and then keep iterating on it, and then keep perfecting on it. So there should be a lot of tolerance involved. And I think when I look back, those three things was the key. And in the cement business, we decided to make decisions on more data-driven analysis. And to do that, first you have to collect data, and then analyze it, and then make decisions upon it, and then improve the business, and then measure it, and then keep improving. And to collect data, we had the option to go to market and just buy a product that it does it. But we didn't want to do that. We didn't want to settle with industry standards, and we wanted to define our own requirements and bring in all the new technology all around the world that has been developed since many years. And to do that, we just found, as you mentioned, the new technology company. And we built up a dedicated team specialized in software development, who understands all the basic lean management and focus on technology, and adopts all these motives and incentives to build perfect software, and isolated it from the cement business. That was one of the big contributions to the success, I think. And you mentioned earlier the management innovation, let's say.
Yes.
We did it in the technology firm. And now we have 15 people in the company, and we govern it with circles. And it's not like a regular pyramid style management structure, where what is different is we defined a general company circle and more dedicated smaller circles in the company. Let's take the example of a cruise ship. I mean, there are 1,000 people working inside, and the direction of the ship is just one place it goes, but you have the mechanical team, entertainment team, food and beverage team also inside the cruise ship. And then imagine those different teams as circles, because they have different agenda, different motives, different policies, let's say, to execute. And inside those circles, there are roles. And these roles are assigned to specific individuals. For example, one person can have a few roles in one circle and few other in other circles. I mean, this gives you a lot of authority distribution and ownership of responsibilities. And I think that was the thing that you wanted to mention. Yes, about management structure. And yeah, I mean, we can call this innovation for the cement part as a business model innovation, let's say, because the product that has been developed in the technology firm is being used in the cement to improve their businesses. And it also created a new sector for our family. And one interesting thing, one thing led to another, and us being involved in technology made us to discover all these exponential technologies that has been being developed, as Dennis has earlier mentioned. And then we started to learn about 3D printing and 3D printing applications in constructions. And then we looked at our cement business and defined our cement business as buildings material production, actually. And then we start R&D on the cement side to build suitable buildings materials for 3D printed construction styles, let's say. So if you have an innovation in somewhere, that leads a series of innovations in other areas also. Mm-hmm. And that was our story, I guess.
So this is very interesting. You have in your group several lines of business. I believe cement, and you have the technology part. You have cast iron. Right?
Cast iron manufacturing,
and,
energy.
You have energy. So from what you are telling, if I understand correctly, you found ways to leverage your findings or your good results in innovation on one side of the business in other areas.
Yes.
Am I correct?
Yeah, definitely.
Yes. I mean, as far as a business group is concerned, I think this is very important to leverage what you get as a good result in one part of the business in other areas. And you mentioned about this okay to fail approach. I think this is very critical in innovation. May I ask you how you convince the older generation of your company to be failure tolerant? I mean, you are the younger generation.
Yeah. In our case, we did this technology company in a very small scale and very isolated from the regular line of business. So in that part, we leveraged on that because the failure in the technology company wouldn't affect the main line because as far as we see is we have a normal and innovation process, and if successful, we have a new normal, and if not successful, you are back to old normal. And if you try to do big scale innovation in the running business, then you're exposed to a lot of risk. And that's why keep it small scale and isolated. That helps a lot. Okay. And then if you have a success, then everybody will see it.
So to minimize the risk, you isolated your innovation activities in a way to a certain part of the company.
Exactly.
So that you don't risk losing the farm. Huh? So
exactly. Losing the farm and also losing the innovation itself also, because
okay.
The farm can kill innovation also.
Okay. Okay. You mentioned about in your technology company the circles approach, what is now popularized as holacracy in certain companies in the US. One small question is, how do you put responsibilities on people? Is everybody a manager of his own? How does it work? In a few sentences, please.
Yes. Of course, it is also, again, important to understand we didn't do it in the cement business. Like we didn't try to do it in a 220 people working environment. We did it, again, among 15 people. And you still have the leading roles. You still have the leading roles of the circles, for example. Of course, there's a technical lead, and there are more junior engineers inside those circles. And you have also in the bigger company circle, the product owner role or technical product manager role. All these roles exist, but it's more on the responsibility and responsibility owning side. Everybody reports to everybody, and so there's no like everybody is a manager and then does whatever they want. There is also a structure to it.